Hi everyone, Nick here. This is a quick reaction to Doctor Who The Collection box set number 12, being season 2. This news was announced on Tuesday, just gone, which was the 16th of August 2022. At time recording, it's the following Saturday, the 20th. So a bit late to the game on this, but the news is pretty fantastic. Not only have they announced the 12th in the collection range of the Doctor Who Blu-ray box sets, this is just the first one I could reach, so I'm just using season 8 as an example. But not only have they announced the 12th box set, it's going to be the first 60s season, the first black and white season, and the first one featuring William Hartnell's first Doctor. How exciting is that? We didn't expect this to happen for a while until rumours started circulating that it was a possibility. And yeah, it was pretty damn surprising and welcoming, though. Season 2 is a brilliant season of Doctor Who. For starters, it's got some great stories: Planet of Giants, Dalek Invasion of Earth, The Chase, which I find massively underrated, The Time Meddler, and I'm not as huge on the more popular story known only as The Romans. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that's a very good story. It's my least favourite Hartnell. Yeah. But I'm glad lots of other people like it. Web Planet is also not that great, but it's alright. I know that one gets quite a bit of flack. Rescue. The Rescue's really good. Okay, well, it's good. The Rescue's fun. It's a nice little two-parter story in there. And Crusade, yeah, that's pretty good. It'd be nice to see the missing 2 episodes animated. It would have been nice to see them animated or them recovered. We're going to get them reconstructed. So hopefully the reconstruction's Web of Fear Part 3 level good, not Underwater Menace Parts 1 and 4 good. In which case, I mean that I hope it's a good reconstruction, not a god-awful one. Although, no disrespect to the editors of the Underwater Menace. Apparently, that was just the what do you say? The prototype, the draft version, and they said that they are willing to work on it more and make it better and proper for no extra charge. They didn't even have to be paid for it. They would do it for free because they love it and they want Doctor Who fans to love it. But the BBC or BBC Worldwide or the distributor said, nah, just put it out as it is. We don't want it to. We don't care if it's a draft or not. Just put it out. We're not gonna have it finished. We're just gonna release this. Yeah, Underwater Menaces DVD has had a bit of a rocky road. Hopefully, when it comes to Blu-ray, things will be a lot better. If no animated episodes, at least a better reconstruction. And I'd definitely bring the team who did the original one back and just allowed them to finish it, definitely. But that's season 4. We're talking about season 2. So hopefully the Crusades reconstruction will be Web of Fear Part 3 levels good. And that's reconstruction, not the animation. If we were animation, it would hopefully be on the level of Macra Terror Evil of the Daleks, as opposed to Web of Fear Part 3 or The Reign of Terror. But yeah. So hopefully the reconstructions will be good for episodes 2 and 4 of The Crusade. Episodes 1 and 3 survive, and 2 and 4 are the only 2 missing episodes of this season, meaning 37 of the 39 episodes survive, and which makes it the easiest season of the 60s to release. Like I said, it's just those 2 missing episodes. Given a reconstruction, a good reconstruction, nay, a decent reconstruction. Loose Cannon did it, and that's fans who did it without being paid. Heck, it was a hobby, and yet they did a really good job with that. And if you let this production team do the proper reconstruction, then it's gonna be great. Even if you don't pay them, I mean, if they're willing to work for free, of course. If they worked for free, if they wanted to be paid, obviously you have to pay them. But if they're willing to work for free, then by all means let them do it. Thankfully, the collection box set ranges are pretty damn brilliant in making brilliant content, like restoring the original episodes, making them look brilliant, to making brand new documentaries that appear brilliant, or bring on older documentaries or archive stuff and other featurettes from the DVDs, or even stuff that hadn't even been on the DVDs. Even bring stuff from the VHSs that didn't transfer to DVD back onto the Blu-ray, like the extended special editions of Battlefield Curse of Fenric that didn't make to the DVD, and the DVD versions that weren't on the VHS. So now you got 3 versions of those stories. I wonder if they're going to do that with Silver Nemesis, because the VHS versions are like an omnibus, but they didn't have that on the DVD. So I wonder if the Blu-ray's going to have both versions. But yeah, but these box sets are generally pretty brilliant in terms of content, so I think the reconstructions are in safe hands. And the final story of this season, well, it's not the final story, the final one I haven't mentioned, is the Space Museum, which is, yeah, it's alright. Okay, there's not every story lands. I mean, for me, it's not pirates. Why am I talking about pirates? It's Planet of Giants, Invasion Earth, Chase, and Time Meddler. Those are the 4 great ones of the season. Rescue's pretty fun. Crusade's a pretty good one too. Had a bit of fun with Space Museum's first episode, but not so much on the other 3. And Web Planet could have been better. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Romans, like, at all. There's some funny moments, but otherwise, I thought the guy playing Emperor Nero was pretty funny, though. It was interesting to go in a comedic direction, but I just wasn't impressed with the story. That's it. That's it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting having this season come out. Just absolutely brilliant news. The only disappointment is that, well, actually 2 disappointments. Firstly, we don't know when in the year it's coming out. I mean, the last box set, season 22, was announced in January. It took until June to come out, and season 24 had the same thing in last year. The difference is we knew season 8 was on its way first, so we had that to look forward to first before we waited for season 24. It took a while till they announced the release date, but they eventually announced it just over a month ahead. Season 22, I think it was just a couple of weeks. It wasn't even a month. It was less than a month till they announced the release date. It was like 2-3 weeks at most, and there was no other season in between 17 and 22 for us to hold over to talk about or experience whilst we waited, like season 8. Season 17, it took a while to actually announce after season 24. It took till October. It was rumoured in September last year, but they announced in October, and then it came out in December. So that was only a 2-month gap from announcement, but it took them 4 months to announce it. So I'm wondering if these things are going to take a while to come out. Maybe they should announce them closer to the time, but at the same time, then the gaps between the announcements are also going to get longer. So, or at least from previous release to next release. I'm only talking about the 2021 onwards releases because it was a bit more consistent pre-COVID with 2018 through. Once season 12 was a big hit, then they carried on with season 19 onwards, and once they got and then up to season 14 until they had to take the big break. But yeah, it was a bit more consistent with them because they might announce the next one, but just before the one came out or just afterwards. But with season 8 onwards, it's been a little bit of a let's see how it is. Season 8 was announced in November 2020 for a February, later March 2021 release, so that wasn't too bad. But then they just seem to be either a long wait from announcement through to release, or a long wait from release of one to announcement of the next. In this case, it was just under 2 months. So hopefully the wait for the release won't be as long, but we shall see. But my guess is that we may only get 2 releases in 2022 as opposed to 3, like 2019 and 21. We got 2 in 2020, 2020, but that's due to one of them being pushed back from 2019, and then anything after season 14 being delayed. Some of them maybe even indefinitely if season 20's rumours were true, filming extras for season 20, because that one, I've heard that one was like on the cards to be coming up, and it still hasn't been announced. That was my prediction for this. Actually, I did a Universal's video back in February saying that I think the next box set, if they weren't going to do Hartnell Troughton, what should be season 2021 of Peter Davison season, because he's only got the one box set at the moment, season 19, released all the way back in 2018. It was the second one. We're 12 in, and he's only had the one season. Granted, we are now finally onto the 60 seasons, and hopefully we'll get Patrick Troughton at some point. Most likely season 6, because they've only got 5 missing episodes that they need to reconstruct. There's 7 missing episodes that season, but 2 of them have been animated, so the other 5 just need to be reconstructed. Then again, those 5 are the space pirates, and yeah. On the other hand, maybe Will in Space, maybe someone will animate Will in Space, and we might get season 5. But I'm not holding my breath out. The best we'll probably get is season 5 with the animations up to Fury from the Deep, and then Will in Space has reconstructed episodes 1, 2, 4, and 5. 3 and 6 survive. So I think that's probably what's going to be the case for season 5, if that's going to go first. Though we might be lucky and maybe get Will in Space by somebody, but then again, it depends if the animations continue. At this point in time, Abominable Snowmen is confirmed to be the last one. For now, at least, but we'll see how it goes. Then again, these box sets aren't waiting until all the stories are animated. They're going to go ahead regardless. So Season 2 is going ahead regardless of the Crusades being animated or if it's going to be reconstructed. So Season 5, 6, the same with Will in Space and Space Pirates, respectively. Abominable Snowmen would be animated though, because it would be coming out after Abominable Snowmen's release, because that's coming out next in early September. So that's next. So season 5 will include Abominable Snowmen animated. It's Will in Space that we're going to wonder about. Seasons 3 and 4 will probably be the last 2. 4's got 2 stories left to finish. Somehow, 3 if you count Underwater Menace, having a better reconstruction. And oh my god, I think season 3 is going to be the last one of the whole set. Because my gosh, golly darny, is there a lot of missing episodes in season 3? Oh gosh, I mean, we've got Galaxy 4's missing episodes animated, but and Mission to the Unknown got a remake. But they'll probably reconstruct the original anyway. But, okay, following that, we got the Mythmakers, all 4 episodes missing. Dalek's Master Plan, 9 of the 12 episodes are missing. The Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, all 4 episodes missing. The Celestial Toymaker, 3 of the 4 episodes missing. And the Savages, all 4 episodes missing. I mean, we do have the Ark, the Gunfighters, and the War Machines. All 4 episodes of each story survive, and Galaxy 4, as mentioned, 1 episode survives. Other 3 have been and the surviving episodes have all been animated. And Mission to the Unknown, they'd probably reconstruct it anyway, but they've also got the recon. Not recon. That they would do that anyway, but they've got the remake. That's it. They've got the remake, but they'll probably also do the recon anyway. And then Mythmakers, Master Plan, Massacre, Toymaker, Savages. And season 4, it's the Smugglers, Highlanders, and an updated Underwater Menace. Okay, maybe that one's not as difficult. But it does mean reconstructing at least 10 episodes. Maybe. That's why I think 3 is going to be the last one. 4 is going to be a while till we get there as well. 1's going to be a while because you've got Marco Polo to do, 7 episodes. Reign of Terror's under its one's animated, so that's okay. So season for Patrick Troughton, I think season 6 would be the easiest. Season 5 is another possibility. But that's just speculation from here. I still think we should have a Peter Davison sooner than later, because he's got 3 seasons. We've only had 1 out, and we're 12 releases in. The next one will be after season 2. The next one is 13, and now we're confirming to do the 60 seasons. We're going for all 26. So, or at least as much as much as possible anyway. So, yeah, we're going for all 26, meaning number 13 will be the halfway mark, or just afterwards. 13's our end of half 1. So, I mean, there's no confirmation of them going beyond season 26. I think it's just classic seasons. Maybe something for the 8th Doctor or the Wilderness Years as well, but we'll see. That's just the speculation. But as far as full seasons are, I think it's just classic series. Although it would be pretty cool to have the new series join the collection, but we got the complete series Blu-rays as well for those. So new series is doing okay when it comes to Blu-ray. It's and releases. Heck, the next stage is 4K, as I discussed in a recent Universals video I did. The next stage is 4K releases for the new series. at those moments in time, it's just Twice Upon a Time and the Peter Cushing Dalek movies. The latter two, the two Peter Cushing Dalek movies weren't even produced by the BBC. So yeah, I'm not sure if that. I mean, they're Doctor Who, so kind of count, but not BBC Doctor Who in a way. A bit like how Real Time Pictures and BBV Video and the K9 spin-off series are not BBC Doctor Who. Big Finish, whilst they have the license to do it, aren't really and they're not associated with the BBC. They're just using the license that they allowed. Same for Panini for the magazines and the comics, Titan for their comics, and well, the BBC do their own books really. But Virgin back when they did it. So yeah, so when it comes to BBC Doctor Who, the only 4K release story is Twice Upon a Time. And it's a quick video about reacting to season 2. It's now gone on to a ramble about just the series in general and its Blu-ray and 4K releases. But yeah, I am slightly disappointed we aren't getting a Peter Davison season now because he hasn't had any since season 19 came out. But on the plus side, we are finally getting some 60s seasons. Hopefully we'll get a Troughton sometime soon. Going back to the whole 2-year, I think it'll be 2 releases this year. I thought they would do a Tom Baker each year because he's got 7 seasons, and every year so far, up to 2021 at least, we've had one Tom Baker. We had season 12, the first release in 18, season 18 as the third release in 19. We had a bit of a break from him to see some of the other Doctors. We had 5 in between those two, and then 3, 6, and 7 respectively for the next ones. Then season and re-release of season 12. Then season 14, was the 7th release, and then the big hiatus. Then season 8, appropriately the 8th one, and then so that was 3, and then 7 was next, and then it was another 4 for the 10th release. That's 4 releases for 4. So the next one, of course, was 6, and now on to 1. So the 13th release, if it comes out this year, it will most likely be a Tom Baker. Place your bets on which season it is now. I think it'd probably be season 16, personally, because I think they'd say 13 for 2023. That being said, if they're not going to release it till 2023, then they may as well do 13 next. That is because that's the most popular of the remaining to go of Tom Baker's. That should be for 2023. But if they're not going to release another one this year after season 2, then they may as well start with that one. Or 16, because that might be the one they might release this year if they get it out. And then 13 and 23, maybe? Or maybe we'll get 2 Tom Bakers next year. Speaking of other 2023 releases, well, like I said, we need more. We should have a Patrick Troughton next year, because we're starting Hartnell, we should start Troughton. So if we get an annual Tom Baker one, after that, hopefully Troughton. And hopefully, maybe season 21 for Peter Davison and Colin Baker. That wraps up Colin as well, by the way. That means all his stuff's done. And if we go for 3 releases, either another Pertwee or season 25, because that's the anniversary season. That's a anniversary season, I should say. And the 21 replaces 20. Though, if that one's ready to go, that one might happen. Now I'm just speculating. It could be any season, really, apart from maybe season 3. And maybe 4, but I think after season 2, it's possibly gonna be either another Tom Baker, especially if it's gonna be this year. So, like, say season 2 comes out October, and then season 16 manages to get that December release. Though I'm not holding out for that because it's taking them quite a while to do each release now. I think we're just gonna get the 2. So maybe it might be season 13 or 16 early next year. Hopefully early next year, not June. And then after that, it's anything goes. But hopefully we'll have a Troughton somewhere in there. Maybe, hopefully. Season 6 would make a lot of sense, but then again, so would season 5. And then after that, best Pertwee to do, if it was specifically for anniversary 7, if it's in terms of feasibility, I think season 8 was apparently the hardest. So if if they were able to get through that one, they could do 7 and 9. But if they wanted to be a bit easier on themselves, 11. But yeah, if it's the anniversary season, I'd definitely say go for 7. For what I said, 13 or 16 if it's a holdover, and 5, 20 or 21 if you wanted to do a 5 and 6 release, and 7, 25 is the only one left. And it's perfect for anniversary year. Plus, that then means you have a 7 every 2 years, 2019, 21, 23. But if we're only going to have 3 releases a year, if even that next year, then I think it will probably be a Tom Baker and then a Patrick Troughton, and one of the others. That's my bet. That's even if we get Tom Baker this year. It might be a holdover to next year, or even 2 Tom Bakers, because they missed a year. Then again, they might stop with the annual Tom Bakers to let other Doctors have a bit more space. But then again, he's only got 3 more seasons left anyhow. So, it depends. But now we know we're into 60s territory now. We can do seasons 1 to 6. Season 2's coming. We're going to go for all 26. Also, that trailer was really great, with Vicky telling who apparently seemed to be her granddaughter in Greece, her stories. Now, whilst this does tie in with Mythmakers in season 3, they'll probably have something else planned for that. Maybe something for Stephen, perhaps, or maybe we'll finally find out what happened to Dodo. Unless you read some of the books from the 90s, in which case, yikes. What happens to Dodo does not sound very nice, but maybe they'll give her a more positive spin in the minisode, like they have done with Perry, for instance. And let's face it, Perry, in the expanded media, her ends are even more of a twist and turn than the whole twist of her surviving at the end of Trial of a Time Lord. It's a whole rabbit hole, and I think the minisode managed to fix that with doing a direct kind of follow-up to her survival at the end of Trial of a Time Lord, as well as kind of maybe keeping some of that expanded media in mind and staying faithful to it, but not exactly directly acknowledging it. So I think that would help with Dodo. Or maybe they'll do Steve. Actually, no, Jackie Lane's dead now. Oh, okay, that's depressing. No, it'll probably be Stephen then. What would season 1 be? Would that be with Ian or Susan? It's also, yeah, that's another thing to theorize. Who's going to be in the trailers? Who's going to be doing it? It was Vicky for season 2. Season 22 was Perry. It was Mel for 24. Davros, of all characters, for 17. Which makes sense, Destiny of the Daleks. And if we just go up to season 8, it was Jo returning with Cliff. Cliff from the Green Death, because that was her husband. R.I.P. Stewart. I can't remember his surname, but the actor who played Cliff. R.I.P. But it'd be great to see Jo one more time in season 9. Perhaps maybe teaming up with one of her unit pals. And then those unit pals are also the most likely to appear in 7 and 11. Specifically, Benton for 7. Or maybe number 11 or 13 might feature some of the SJA crew reminiscing on Sarah Jane's travels. Possibly. And then 25 would probably be Ace or the character for Countermeasures. Countermeasures crew. They could come back. And then 20 and 21 probably be one of those companions. 16 would maybe Romana 2 reflecting on her first life. Possibly. That's just theory. And 15 would probably be Leela. I actually really like how some of them are not really the characters themselves and just the actors, like Louise Jameson in season 14 and Colin Baker in season 23. Those were pretty funny. Pretty good. Well, the only disappointment is season 12 didn't get one of those types of trailers. It's just got the usual trailer that was just proceeded to release. So I think it'd be nice for season 13 or 11 to include a season 12 trailer as well. That would be pretty cool. Maybe with Tom Baker reprising his role as the 4th Doctor one last time. I say one last time, it could be in one of the upcoming specials. But if not, one more time as the 4th Doctor for a season 12 release, exclusive season 12 trailer to be included on season 11 or 13. Just say that so all the seasons have a trailer like that. Because it only started with 19. It would be nice. Anyway, so maybe it's the coming soon trailer at the end of the season 11 box set, because Robot didn't have a coming soon DVD trailer. Maybe it could be in place of that. That'd be nice. Then again, they probably have to shoot 2 trailers at once for the season 11 box set, and one of them doesn't even have anything to do with season 11. It's probably feature the dinosaurs or the return of those spiders. Actually, if it was with Mike Yates, it probably would definitely be one of those two. Okay, so wrap things up with this video that really shouldn't have been this long and really should have stuck to season 2 and maybe some other things like predictions of the releases. But the extras look great, the trailers look great, and this season's going to be look absolutely brilliant. This will probably be the best the black and white eras looked on home releases. Well, this and the other 5 seasons when they come round, but for this season, it will be the best it's ever looked. And yeah, it looks exciting. My only kind of quibble is that the face they used for William Hartnell doesn't really look that much like Hartnell. And one of my friends pointed this out. It was just it didn't quite look like. Sorry, noisy car out there. Didn't quite look like William Hartnell. It's a bit of an odd face they've done and a bit of an odd head, but the rest of the image looks absolutely stellar and looks brilliant. And yeah, it looks great. So really looking forward to this set when it comes out. Don't know exactly when it will be released. Hopefully before the end of the year. And if we're lucky, we might get a third one before the end of the year. But by this point in time, I'm not holding out hopes for that. I'm not holding out for that. I think we're going to get 2 this year. And in that case, we are going to lose the annual Tom Baker. But since he's only got 3 left anyway, we might be able to skip 1 year. Give him a bit of a break and allow us to start the 60s. So long as we can start Patrick Troughton soon as well. Because then we can have 1 for each of the first 7 Doctors. Woo! Especially since Tom's had 4 releases already. Yeah, he's had 7 seasons and others I don't really like 3 or 4, apart from John Pertwee. Fuck. Well, Colin Baker only had 2, and John Pertwee had 5, but he's just coming out every now and again as well. Maybe we'll be lucky to get one of his next year. But yeah, if we're lucky, we'll get 3 releases next year. I would have said 4 releases, but I think we've passed that point now. We were hoping for 4 releases in 2019, and again, it was hoping for it in 21. But I think we've passed that point now. I think we'd be lucky if we get 3 again. So at least until COVID the restrictions have gone down a bit more. Also, what's happening in Ukraine is probably affecting the production in Poland. Because these sets are being made in Poland, so distribution and production could be taking a bit more time. Fucking Ukraine war. Just another thing to add to the list of atrocities Russia's creating. That was half a joke, but at the same time, seriously though, what Russia is doing over in Ukraine is abominable. So yeah, so I mean, kind of made a bit of a joke about that, but seriously, though, guys, that is an atrocity happening over there. That is not nice. Okay, so bringing the video to a happier conclusion. So, season 2 is the next release in the Doctor Who the Collection range. Predicted release is probably, I'm going to say, November, December. If we're lucky enough to get 3 releases, maybe October. It won't be earlier than that, judging by how soon these announcements get made. But yeah, I'm expecting it's just going to be 2 this year. Hopefully we can get to 3, maybe 4 if we're lucky next year for the 60th. But yeah, if we're lucky, we'll hopefully get back to 3 next year. And 2022 is kind of like the odd year where they just did 2. And it's just like 2020, except 2020 that was due to COVID. This year, maybe it's due to the production of the sets, but we'll see. And this one's going to be the biggest, 9 discs, 1 for each story. Wow. Season 10 will have 10. Season 3 would have 10 unless they bunk up one for Mission to the Unknown. But then again, Master Plan's going to have to be split too. Maybe even 11 discs. Season 1 would be 8 or 9. Season 4 would be 9 or maybe 10. Season 5 and 6 would be 7 or 8. Those ones aren't so bad, but yeah, 9 discs, the most any season has had so far. We shall see how it all turns out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Farewell, and apologies for the video being longer than usual. I think this one's even longer than that season 24 announcement one I did. Oh well. Anyway, enjoy, guys. Bye.